Here's something wild. You're making thousands of choices every single day, but somehow, your life looks exactly the same as it did last year. What if there's one decision you've been running from, and it's the only one that actually matters? Let's figure out what it is. Why your brain keeps you stuck in the same loop. Let me ask you something real. When was the last time you did something truly different? Not just a surface-level change like trying a new coffee shop or watching a different show. I'm talking about a decision that actually shifted the trajectory of your life. For most people, the answer is uncomfortable, because we're all running on autopilot way more than we'd like to admit. You wake up, scroll through your phone before your eyes are fully open, rush through breakfast, sit in traffic while your mind replays yesterday's problems, work on tasks that don't excite you, come home drained, numb out with Netflix, and crash. Rinse and repeat. It's like you're stuck in a simulation, and nobody handed you the exit code. Here's the kicker, you could change it. You could wake up earlier and actually do something that matters to you. You could have that difficult conversation, leave that soul-crushing job, start building something that lights you up. But you don't. And the reason isn't what you think. Your brain is hardwired for survival, not happiness. There's a part of your brain called the amygdala that treats uncertainty like a physical threat. To your ancient brain, predictable pain is safer than unpredictable potential. So it keeps you locked in patterns that feel familiar, even when those patterns are slowly killing your spirit. This is why you can scroll through Instagram, seeing people living their dreams, and feel inspired for about 30 seconds before your brain whispers, "Yeah, but that's not realistic for someone like you." That voice isn't wisdom. It's fear wearing a disguise. It's your nervous system trying to keep you safe by keeping you small. The decision that changes everything isn't about becoming someone completely different. It's about recognizing that you've been choosing safety over truth. You've been choosing comfort over growth. You've been choosing the known hell over the unknown heaven. And that choice, repeated daily for years, becomes your entire life. So here's what we're really talking about. The one decision that matters is the decision to stop betraying yourself. What's the one thing you know you need to change, but keep avoiding? How your past secretly programs your future. Here's something that'll blow your mind. You think you're making conscious choices, but you're actually running ancient software. Most of your decisions aren't decisions at all. They're downloaded programs from childhood, past trauma, societal conditioning, and repeated patterns you've practiced so many times they became automatic. Ever notice how you react to criticism exactly like one of your parents did? Or how you self-sabotage right when things start going well? Or how you keep attracting the same type of toxic relationship with different faces? That's not coincidence. That's your subconscious running the show while your conscious mind thinks it's in control. Neuroscientists call this neural patterning. Your brain creates shortcuts based on past experiences. Every time you encounter something similar, your brain fires the same neural pathway it used before. It's efficient, but it's also why you keep getting the same results, even when you swear you're trying something different. And here's where it gets really interesting. Your brain doesn't just repeat behaviors, it actively seeks out evidence that confirms your deepest beliefs about yourself. If you believe you're not good enough, your brain will filter reality to prove that true. If you believe you always fail, you'll unconsciously sabotage success to maintain consistency with that identity. According to research from Stanford psychologist Albert Bandura on self-efficacy, people don't change because they lack information. They change when they develop new beliefs about their capabilities through repeated experience. But here's the catch. You can't wait for new experiences to happen to you. You have to deliberately create them. That means interrupting the pattern. When you feel the old impulse to quit, to people please, to play small, pause. Just for 5 seconds. Ask yourself, is this who I'm choosing to be? Or is this the old program running? That tiny moment of awareness creates a gap between stimulus and response. And in that gap lives your freedom. Because the truth is, you're not broken, you're not weak, you're not incapable of change. You're just running outdated programming that made sense at one point, but doesn't serve you anymore. And the moment you realize you can rewrite the code, everything shifts. What belief about yourself keeps showing up in your choices without you realizing it?
What if nobody's coming to save you? Let's talk about the hardest truth. You're waiting for something that's never coming. You're waiting for the perfect moment, the right opportunity, the magical clarity, the external validation, the sign from the universe, but none of that exists. It's all a story your brain tells you to avoid the discomfort of taking responsibility for your life. We grow up in systems that teach us to wait for permission. Wait for your parents to approve. Wait for your teacher to call on you. Wait for your boss to give you the promotion. Wait for society to validate your choices. And somewhere along the way, you internalize this so deeply that now, as a fully grown adult, you're still waiting for someone to give you permission to live. Permission to quit the job that's draining your soul. Permission to end the relationship that makes you feel alone, even when you're together. Permission to pursue the dream that keeps you up at night. Permission to be yourself without apology. But here's the reality check. Nobody can give you that permission because it was never theirs to give. Your life is yours. Your time is yours. Your choices are yours. And every day you spend waiting for external validation is another day you're handing your power to people who don't even know what you need. Research from psychologist Angela Duckworth on grit shows that successful people aren't more talented or lucky, they just have a bias toward action. They make decisions with incomplete information. They move before they feel ready. They understand that clarity comes through doing, not thinking. This is the shift that changes everything. You don't need more confidence before you act. You build confidence by acting. You don't need to feel brave before you leap. You feel brave after you leap and realize you survived. You don't need permission to change your life. You just need to decide that you're done living on everyone else's terms. So stop waiting. The perfect moment is a myth. The right time doesn't exist. You're as ready as you'll ever be. And if you keep waiting, you'll wake up at 80 years old, realizing you spent your entire life in the waiting room. Reflect. What would you do differently if you stopped waiting for permission? Hit the like button if this resonates and subscribe for more truth bombs that'll shake up your thinking. What would you do differently if you stopped waiting for permission? How to rewire your identity starting right now. Alright, let's get tactical because awareness without action is just sophisticated procrastination. The decision that transforms your life isn't one big dramatic leap. It's 3 micro shifts that compound over time. Clarity, commitment, and calibration. First shift, brutal clarity. You need to identify the exact choice that's keeping you stuck, not some vague aspiration like I want to be happier or I need to figure my life out. Get specific. I'm choosing to stop tolerating disrespect in my relationships. I'm choosing to build my business even though I'm terrified of failing. I'm choosing to prioritize my mental health over other people's comfort. Write it down. Speak it out loud. Make it real. Second shift, identity level commitment. This isn't about willpower or motivation. Those run out. This is about becoming someone different. You're not trying to change a habit. You're stepping into a new version of yourself. Someone who honors their word. Someone who follows through. Someone who doesn't negotiate with their excuses. And you act as that person would act, even when you don't feel like it. Because identity is built through action, not intention. Third shift, microcalibration. Forget massive overhauls. Focus on the smallest possible action you can take today that moves you forward. Want to write a book? Write 1 sentence. Want to get healthy? Do 5 push-ups. It sounds absurdly simple, but that's the point. You're not trying to transform overnight. You're trying to break inertia and build momentum. And here's a secret nobody tells you. You don't have to believe it'll work. You just have to do it anyway. Confidence doesn't come before action, it comes after. You build self-trust by proving to yourself that you keep your promises. Every small win rewires your brain, reinforces your new identity, transforms you from the inside out. So I'll ask you one more time. What if one choice today could rewrite your entire life? Not some future decision 6 months from now, but who you choose to be in the next 60 seconds, because that's all it takes. Life changes when you stop waiting and start moving. Decide. What's the one thing you're doing differently today? Drop it in the comments because public commitment increases follow-through. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone who needs to hear it right now. You've always had the power. You were just waiting for someone to remind you. What's the one thing you're doing differently today? Disclaimer. This content is for educational and reflective purposes only. It does not replace professional mental health support or therapy. If you're dealing with serious mental health challenges, please seek help from a qualified professional.